Alright, welcome back. So yeah, once again, much like the previous few videos, we're going to continue from before. So this is our next chapter. I know real old one. I think this is from 1959. This is Sleeping Beauty, Princess Aurora. One of the shortest periods. This is actually doesn't have a lot of screen time, but yeah. Now they sleep on the job, and that's not Robin Ashton. And Flora, Fauna, Merryweather, the three fairies. Here tonight with Snow White and Fair Dahmer. Snow White, another OG Disney princess. Fair Dahmer absolutely makes sense. So yeah. Instead of altering our Sleeping Beauty character, I just want the movie. I can feel it. Yep. So it's Sailor. I think that's Phil, I believe. Wait. Yeah, from Phil. Absolutely makes sense. He's he's the trainer. So that makes sense. And of Aurora, partners. Still killing that is from Team Possible. My daughters were just we have Ron. Yeah, we have Ron from Team Possible also, and Pete. That's cool. Milo. That's from Atlantic Lost Empire in 2001. So I remember that. For Adventures. Yeah, he's a really cool character from a very underrated movie. So you have Sanders and Vinny. We have another Atlantis Lost Empire character. Yep. Let's see with Lilo. Interesting. And the Rocketeer. I think Rocketeer makes sense, I can see that. That's a great combination. Mother Daughter, of course, from Tangled in 2010. That's teasing, I think that's one line remembered. I don't know special. This special made that aggression to your team, yeah. Also the Stabbington brothers, so that's cool. We discussed, and Ursula. I think Ursula makes sense. I can see the connection. Agent P from Phineas and Ferb, our first character from Phineas and Ferb. That first appeared around 2008 or so. So yeah, that's a classic show. Yeah, great character. Kim Possible absolutely makes sense. They're hand in hand, both agents. And I'm both. That's cool. Thank you. So this is our character. So this is character from Soul. I think this is the first one from Soul released in 2020. Literally around the pandemic era after the release on Disney Plus. Original Problem Child has arrived. Yeah. A lot of passion for causing a lot of annoying enemies. Yeah, absolutely. Joy and the Cracker Jack. Okay. Anyway, alright. So our first character. I think this is our first character from 2022. She's from Turning Red, the Pixar movie from 2022. Yeah, I know that thing's from the start. So yeah. So we have Claw Hauser. Actually, they're both like fans and like that. And Lemon is cool. The mayor from The Nightmare Before Christmas. So connected with this one, and Jack Johnson also makes sense. Quasimodo from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. In fact, he's the main character, of course. He's the Hunchback. Oh, this is that's the one he says to the cloth roll. That's cool. So Prince Philip and Esmeralda. Yep, Esmeralda. So of course she's out from that movie. That's true. Major Bellwether, of course from Zootopia. Oh, this actually, I know this one. So yeah. So that's the normal one. I don't know about this one. I've never seen this outfit before. I don't think it's from that one, but I'm not really so sure. Where's the stage of it? Yep. So we have to connect with Demona and Agent B. Interesting. Cinderella, of course, from Cinderella 1950. That's the trio, Cinderella. Yeah. So the fairy godmother, Fortnite, and Anna, very interesting. That's not very tough. So they're both from 2021 in Luca. That's a great movie, great Pixar movie. That's a trail of Princess Hispa. So we have Human with Louis. Yeah, they definitely make sense. And Leo also makes sense. Phoebus, I think that's from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Esmeralda and Flynn Rider. Little John from the Robin Hood. The partner to Robin Hood. So not with Robin Hood and Baloo and Little John titled, yeah, definitely, yeah, they're definitely together. They're actually not really stuff for a long part, one from 1967, another one from 1971. So 3 maybe, like early 1970s, yeah. Standard World, okay, from the Muppets, of course. Original Hecklers, yep. Carl absolutely makes sense, they are similar. And Fozzie Bear, who Standard World of love to mock, Fozzie Bear, so absolutely makes sense. Chef Jr. from Ratatouille 2007. Yep. So this one. And Little Ray, absolutely makes sense, yep. Chef Jr. Flash from Zootopia, one of the slowest characters in the game and in the movie, of course. So then we dash, of course the opposite of dash is the fastest, but flash is the slowest, that makes sense. And then we have what was the name? Yeah, Fred, not much to say, yeah. Abu, of course from Aladdin. So of course Aladdin, of course, and also Captain John Silver. He's a pirate, so yeah, I can see that, makes sense. Jake Long, so this is from the Jake Long series. I think that's from 2006 or so, or 2004, around the mid 2000s. I've never seen that show, I heard about that one. The American Dragon, yes. So then we Sisu, also makes sense, they're both dragons. They both can also appear human, actually. Except Jake Long is like American to dragon, whereas Sisu is like dragon to human. And Mei Ling, she's another one that transforms. So actually, she has more in common with, so Jake Long has more in common with Mei Ling. They both can turn into these mystical creatures, you might say. Yes. Monkey Face, I think that's something possible. So we have Ron, yeah, makes sense, and Captain John Silver, interesting. Now we have Tiana, she's of course from Princess of the Frog 9. I think she's dressed based on the last one, like the final moments, that makes sense. Princess New Orleans, yes. So then with Cinderella, makes sense, and Dr. Basilia, of course, makes sense. Cosmo Lumiere, Beauty and the Beast. So of course, they're trying with the Beast, makes sense, and Martin Beater, interesting. Megadot, so that's the arch enemy of Megadot. No, of Darkwing Duck, sorry. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the Duck franchise. So yeah, have Darkwing, makes sense, and the darkest character ever, the Horn King, wow. Yeah. So yeah, so that's from the Muppets. So with Kermit, makes sense, and this one. Yeah. Princess, so that's from Hercules 1997. So then with Maximus, they're both horses, and over Hercules, the best friend. Bowler Hat Guy, that's really cool. So he's from Meet the Robinsons in 2007. I grew up with that movie, I absolutely love it, so it makes sense. Doris. Yep, that's the Doris hat. And Mad Hatter, makes sense, and Shido. Cool. Rose, so I think that's from, I actually don't even know where she appears. It's either, is it American Dragon? I think it's from American Dragon. I think Monkey Face. Wait, let me go back. Oh wait, I have to go down. No, too much. Yeah, I think this one's also from American Dragon. I'm not too familiar, so yeah. So then with Jake Long. So I just think she's from the American Dragon series, but I'm not too sure. And then Jumba. That's why not. Cusco. So first from Emperor's New Groove, he is the Emperor, the main character, you might say. Groove, yep. Amelia and Carl. Very interesting combinations. Dante. So he is, of course, from Koto in 2017. One of the most powerful characters, actually quite very overpowering in this game, that's why I use a lot. So very much Hercules, interesting. And Atlanta. So I think she's from the Owl House. I think that started in like 2017, wrap up a few weeks later. So yeah, a great series I heard. Someday I'll see it, definitely. So Maylin and the Fairy Godmother, interesting. And Atlanta and Fairy Godmother are kind of on the opposite spectrum. Like, they're both good, more or less. But they use magic in very different ways. One is more like lawful good, the other one is more chaos good. So yeah, like that. Shere Tan, I think that's from Jungle Book. I think he's the main bad guy. So you have, I think that's Bagheera, the good guy, and Star, Shere Tan, is that. One's a lion, one's a tiger, but they're both evil cats. Yes. Let's not say that. I think that's from the Owl House. With trains, that makes sense. So I did with Phil. Absolutely, I did Phil. I was train someone like her. So definitely to see that. And let's just have a look for her. And it lot on itself makes sense. Dr. Doofenshmirtz, of course, from Phineas and Ferb. He's a super villain, but he's also a great father. My name is Doom. Oh, that's from, that's the hypnotism scene. I remember that. This is from Drosselstein. Yep. Then with the Haunting and Agent P, of course, they have a very interesting, one of the coolest relationships, honestly. Max, of course, Max Goof from the Goofy movie, and several other ones, of course. So Lost Messiah, Messenger was young, and Dr. Doofenshmirtz, interesting. because okay, it's a bit convoluted, but yeah, it's very cool. Personal. So I don't know. I think he appears in The Rescuers. I think that's from like 1980s, 1990s around that time. So he's from The Rescuers. I'm not too sure. So Captain Hood, Ammunition of Nottingham, Cruella, an icon, of course. First appears in 101 Dalmatians. She has her own movie, Cruella, in 1921 with Emma Stone. Innocent and ruthless. One else, he wants the devil to see them. Very evil, of course. Cruella Devil, Showtime, and the Poacher. So yeah, but like they're both. I think they're both poachers in a way, with different styles. Like, but at least he's a poacher. Credible, he's a very ruthless one of the steens. So yeah, Mira Majira. Okay, so our first character from Encanto. This is from 2021. Don't we notice? Yep. So there's this one. Rose and Cusco. Interesting. Bruno Majira, our Encanto character. See the future. So we went to and Mirabelle to make sense. Heimlich. So this is from Bugs Life in 1998. Beautiful Butterfly. Yeah, I remember that one. Very time we meet our appetite. Then Bunda absolutely makes sense. I think they would eat them, but in the story they're definitely friends. And Flake makes sense in movie. Lady and Tram from Lady and Tram around the 1950s. The Parmesan Saint Street White Malt. Robinson Strike. Yep, the loyal. Like Wade and Ember from Elemental. 2020. So Abu, makes sense. And Dante, definitely another dot. Isabel Major of course, from Encanto. Simple by entitled. But it's under a lot of pressure. So yeah, very, very fascinating character. I think it's one of the characters you hate, but if you learn about her, more about her, you actually kind of like her. So alternating with Audrey, cool. And Pegasus, that's cool. Friend Robinson. Okay, so this character is from Major Robinson in 2007. She's basically the doctor of rocks. She's a really cool character. So Tiana and this one. Okay, cool. Chicken Little, of course. Chicken Little from 2005. Chicken Little movie. Not a great movie, but a movie I grew up with. It's a classic of my childhood. Star is Falling. Of course, a line connected with Chicken Little in the movie and the story itself, the fairy tale. Yeah, it's not. So Mulan and Daisy Duck. Cool. Now Odie from Princess and the Frog. 107 Voodoo Queen Bug. Yep. So Lilo and 22 makes sense, 22 is actually older than Mama Odie. But, very interesting relationship there. Rattigan from the Great Mouse Detective alongside, Basil, So then with Nedada, makes sense. And Monkeys, okay, cool. Joe Garner, so he's from Soul in 2020, alongside 2022. 22, I mean, sorry. Back to jazz musician. Yep, Joe Sixels. Okay, with Tiana, Ray, and Rapunzel. So I think it makes sense. Not just because of black, but they both love. Well, not really. Well, one's into music, one's more about the dishes. Well, they have a unique culture between Joe and Tiana. So yeah. Elizabeth Swann. So finally, a character from Predator we have a long time. We have Jack Sparrow, Barbossa. Jack Dalma. Who else? We have David Jones, of course. So now we have now Elizabeth. So her outfit is based from The World's End in 2007. Yep. So now Ariel and Raya. I think they're both from it. So yeah, makes sense. Penny Proud. So she's from the Proud family. That first appeared in 2000 and that revival around the early 2020, 2021. Both concepts in quick. Yep. So you have Pasha and Milo Thatch. So they're both from the 2000s. I like that. They're both 2000s and this thing looks so cool. Mufasa, of course. The king himself, voiced by the late great James Earl Jones. The weapon of the king of Pinelands. This one's here, yep. Yeah, Zeus and Rafiki. Zeus makes sense, they're both kings. And Rafiki, he's a true friend, advisor, and so on. Ferb, of course, for me, he has a Ferb. If he works, yeah, great character like him. And Rapunzel, that's cool. And then Bonzo. Okay, so I think this is from Amphibia. I think that's from 2018 and around it. So yeah. 15 things. Yeah. So she's from Amphibia, so a bit recent, 2018. 30 with Maylin, made sense. I can see that. And Lost and Zelda. So I think Lost and Zelda and Ibuchi, they appeared around the same time. So absolutely makes sense when you come and put them together. They're both at the same time. They're both from Disney TV. They're both, makes sense. Amber Lewin, the first character from Elemental. I think this is in 2023. At first thought it'd be a fail, but it's actually a box office hit, a sleeper hit. Yep. So nothing with True Soul interesting, and Pocahontas, very interesting characters. Luis Madrigal, of course, from Encanto 2021. The Strong One. So connecting with fear. So, which is interesting, because he made strong, but also had these insecurities. And then Maui, they're actually kind of similar. Like Maui and Luisa, they're kind of a similar one. They both have kind of the same insecurities. They felt like they're not strong enough. So very interesting. It's a good pair. Shunaba. So this is from Fantasia in 1940. One of the oldest one. One of the roots of evil. Basically, the evil magic in the Disney world can be traced back to Shunaba. So all the evil magic, right side goes like Shunaba, who first appears one time and one time only in 1940. He appears around the time, but the main famous experience is from Fantasia. Yeah. A representation of pure evil, powerful, terrifying, a god. What's not to fear? Enough said. So we have Little John, very strange, and Mother Tato, interesting. Sugar Mama, of course, from the Proud family. Yep. So Mama Odie definitely makes sense. And of course, Penny, obviously. The Huntsman, this is from the Snow and Seven Dwarfs. He's the one supposed to kill Snow White, but didn't. Yep. So Little John and Sadned, interesting. Red Ripple is of course Elemental, Water Ember. So we have King Triton, makes sense. Water King, and Flitz, very interesting combination. Now Anxiety, alright. The first character from 2024, from Inside Out 2. Fast talking hyper low handling J emotion, makes sense. So it's Anxiety. So then with Sadness and Crystal. The Reptilian Maximus. So he's not from Toy Story 3 or 4 actually. I think he's from like a short film like Polysaurus Rex. I think that's when he appears actually. But I'm not really sure. I know he appears in a Toy Story short film. Feels Warrior. So Ryden and Fishy Felix. Thomas O'Malley, I think that's from the cats. I remember when this one was playing, there was a long string of just so many cats appearing. And then I'm not too familiar. I think he's from the Aristocats. Yeah, the Aristocats. It's called from the 1970s or 80s. I'm not too familiar with them. So yeah, let's go without these characters. So connected with Nick Wall, absolutely. They're actually, so if you look at the summary, small alley cats, they're using split marks, like Nick Wall, so it makes sense. And Cheshire Cat, it's a cat. So let's see this one. You can see here. By this point, around this one, I always light up all of them to emeralds. So yeah. We're actually almost done. So you have Lilith Clawthorn. That's the sister of Ada Clawthorn. Hushkill Witch. Yep. So her name is Ada Clawthorn and Hiro Amada. Interesting. Isabel Shapiro. This is of course from Princess Phineas and Ferb. What's she doing? What's she doing? That's the line she always says in every episode of Phineas and Ferb. Starting with Ferb and Russell and Kevin, right? Ladies from Maine. From Cinderella, 1950. Yes. Connected with Sudamama, interesting. And Skinner, very interesting. Edna Mode, of course, the favorite character from Incredibles in 2004 and 2018. No tapes. That is an Edna Mode line. Everyone is from her. Next fashion designer for superheroes, absolutely. Brilliant, bold, and eccentric. Connected with Fred and Carl. So that's really cool. The stories about them are excellent. Candace Flynn, of course, Phineas and Ferb. And the determined driving teenage. Yep. And then her high, strong exterior, warm-hearted, deeply caring. Yeah, even though she always wanted the best, she's a good person. She's actually good. Starting with Ferb and Cheetah Lil. Gantu from Lilo and Stitch. I think it's from the first one. Former Galactic Federation captain and bounty hunter, strong distinct of clumsy. Starting with Calhoun and Dragon. Okay. Phineas, after Phineas and Ferb. Yep. His partner, first with Ferb. Starting with Friends Match and, Little Ball and Alberto. Right? Car Robot, that is from Mr. Robinson 2007. And it's a character robot. But, he's a bit anxiety. Chaotic, humorous, and sympathetic. So he's a really great one. So now with Baymax. Makes sense, they're both robots. And Franny Robinson. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, they're both Franny Robinson from the same movie. So it makes sense. Yeah, that's it. So I think that's from Fantasia. The one with Mickey Mouse as the wizard, the red one, right? She doesn't say a lot. I don't remember this one. Because in the movie, it never says anything. So it might be another one. So yeah. So Jake Long and Rattigan, interesting. Duchess, that's from Aristocats. This is Time. Yep. So Mulan and oh no, that's Mushu. Sorry. I mean, she's from Mulan in the Lightning Trap, of course. So, yeah, I think I'll start on here. I think we're slowly getting towards the end. There are a few more characters. So I think that'll be all. Thanks so much. So yeah, take care and have a great day. Thank